Get ready for the big premiere. Environmental Justice is Racial Justice with Colette Pichon Battle.
My name is Colette Pichon Battle. I'm the Executive Director of the Gulf Coast Center for Law and Policy. I'm located in South Louisiana, but our organization works Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, the 5 states that touch the Gulf of Mexico. They've taken this word to give their own definition to it, to try to water it down, to water down the poisoning and the attacks that are happening to these communities. The statistics show that the environmental injustices are racialized. So the solution will also have to address the racial discrimination so that we can get to the justice part of environmental justice. And it's rooted in a history that stems from a philosophy of extraction and really taking from the land and the people all that they have to offer with no protection and offering nothing back. It's out of balance to many of the traditional cultures that these Black and brown people come from. And it is uniquely in a white American Western patriarchal culture where we see this racialized livelihood that's put right next to these poisonous facilities, and then expected to live, expected to thrive, expected to be okay with it. And so many communities are they're struggling. I want to first ask them for forgiveness. I think so many of us drive cars, use single-use plastic. We use all of these things that are created only through the poisoning of some of our people. And so we are contributing to a consumer class. We are contributing to the use and the demand for products that require the poisoning and killing of not just the land, but Black and poor people. So the first thing I would say is I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being a part of this system. I commit to changing who I am in this world so that I'm not part of the demands that are killing me. We don't even have to go play that game. We could play our own game, which is we over here cold chilling, laughing, and having a good time with our people and enjoying life and taking care of our people and taking care of our elders and taking care of our children and eating together. I mean, as much as we can do socially distanced now, but like doing that is resistance. This individual world that many of us have been trying to assimilate into or assimilating into, like, it's not ours and it harms us. We get mental health issues from it. We get physical health issues from it because we're trying to do things on our own when there's a system stacked against us. It's not going to work. But a collective movement can shift the system, which gets back to the mission of the Gulf Coast Center for Law and Policy. We're here for these systems changes, and we want the system to change toward ecological equity and climate justice. And until we get there, we don't hit Black liberation. But that's what we're going for. I think the second thing is it's time for us to listen to them. These environmental justice communities have been screaming, sounding the alarm, raising the flag, banging the drum, sounding the bell. They've been doing all of this for years since I've been around. I've heard about environmental justice all my life. I've heard about the poisoning. I live in South Louisiana. Cancer Alley is a word you grow up with. And so why can all of these alarms be sounded and no one is calling stop? It's time for us to listen to what they're saying. I think oftentimes overzealous activists call for things that the community isn't calling for. I think it's time for us to let people speak for themselves and hear what they're asking. And I think sometimes they're not asking for anything unreasonable, right? They want the air to be clean. Half the time they're asking for things like, can we have good alarms and 2 ways out of here? Like, it's not even, don't bring your industry. It's, can you not kill us while you are bringing your industry? The most recently, I just heard folks asking for permission to go to a graveyard. That has now been under control by companies. Like, these folks aren't asking for unreasonable things. We need bigger and broader vision and demands for sure, but let's listen to what they're asking for and fight for those things first, and then continue, once we've got everyone together, continue on to a bigger fight. This was not my intended trajectory in life. This is not what I thought I was gonna do. This is not who I thought I was gonna be. I had no idea that Hurricane Katrina was going to wipe out my community and catalyze me into a life of activism rooted in service to my community. But the truth is, the privilege that we have had access to now requires us to service our people. Our people are not free. And if we're not working to free Black people, if we're not working and understanding our collective liberation, then nothing that we're going to do with that 9-to-5 job and that really nice house, nothing that you're going to do will actually set you or anybody else free. I don't need people to go into the activist lifestyle. It's not for everybody. But I do need folks committed to working for racial justice no matter what they're doing. And racial justice isn't an issue. It's a permeating solution to everything, right? So if we're working on renewable energy, we should do it with a racial justice lens. If we're working for green jobs, we should do it with a racial justice lens. If we're working for democracy, we should do it with the racial justice lens. It's not that racial justice is its own topic. It's that we should all carry that racial justice lens and framework because that's what we have to fight for. So I would just say to folks who are nervous about being discredited, don't discredit yourself. Tell the truth, speak your truth, stay in that truth, and don't talk about things that you don't really know about. And if you don't know about a lot, it's time to go learn. You don't have to get a degree to know about climate science, but you do have to read a couple books and understand this stuff isn't easy. To learn about greenhouse gas emissions at 1.5 degrees, like you have to go learn some of this stuff. But there's nothing for us to fear. The truth is, no matter what anybody sees, they see a Black person. No matter what you think you can overcome and make it through, that's what they see when they see you first. So your option is to be a Black person who tells the truth or be a Black person who helps to manage the lie. And I'm just a Black person who tells the truth. I'm not anybody special. I'm not anything, I didn't do anything great. I'm just working in my community and I'm working to free my people and I'm working to free myself. And that's all I can commit to do. That's all I ask anybody to do. I can speak in certain places. I don't do social media. Some people do social media. Some people do plays. Some people do art. Speak your truth in whatever medium you have. But we can't afford for Black people, especially those of us who've been privileged enough to make it this far. We can't afford to be silent anymore, especially about racial justice. Defend yourself at all times. I just learned that one from boxing. Also, make room for joy. The anger that we accuse from the other side, we're starting to inhale. And in order to beat the other side, we're going to have to beat them with the thing that they don't understand, which is love. That's going to be our weapon. It's going to be joy. Thank you. We'd love for folks to visit our website, www.gcclp.org. That stands for Gulf Coast Center for Law and Policy. And on there, we've got a place for you to sign up for our newsletters. We'd love to just sort of build this out. If you live in the 5 Gulf South states, we'd love for you to sign up for Gulf South for a Green New Deal. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at GCCLP.